Hello to anyone watching. I feel as though I've made enough progress to stick with this project so far, and justify starting to showcase it. The goal with these videos will be to document my progress along the way, and share behind the scenes of making a game like this, just in case, anyone would be inspired by anything I'm doing, and care to use it for their own projects. So to get started, this game will be heavily inspired by Spy Mouse. It was a game by EA in 2011. It involved, I'll play some gameplay on screen now, it involved dragging a mouse across the screen with little pathways, pathfinding. You collect the cheese, evade the enemies. Simple stuff. It was a simple formula, kind of like Angry Birds, but it was very addictive, and it was taken down a while ago. So I figured, why not recreate one of my favorite games in Roblox? So I'm here to show you what I have started preliminarily. It's not much at the moment, but we'll get into it here. So as you can see, this is a little test level I have set up. It will be a top-down game. So this will be the camera up here. And basically, it'll try to be as faithful as possible to the original. So you'll have your mouse model start. I can go ahead and just start the game right now. As you can see, you have your little mouse model here. He's in his idle state now, so he'll be playing some idle animations. Right now he's tapping his foot. He goes into his idle animations every 3 to 7 seconds. Ignore this mess over here. He has some things like he opens up a map, just like the original game. But here's where the magic happens. So I've been putting a lot of work into the pathway and pathfinding. So when you drag your mouse in front of him, you are able to create the path that he follows. And he will follow it completely faithfully. You can start a new path and cancel the one you're currently on by just dragging anywhere near it. Or, if you stop and want to start again, you can drag the path from the dot. And you can bring him all around the level. Now, there is collisions with the walls and any other object. Anything that's not the floor, the mouse will be unable to travel through. So, for example, you can't clip out of bounds or anything like that, although there are some bugs I'm still working through. For example, this desk has proven to be a problem. I got this off of Toolbox. As you can see, you can kind of clip out of bounds, so that does need to be addressed. I suppose I'll just put a big invisible block in front of it, but this is the next step of the initial test level I'm building here, is the cheese. So traditionally in the game, for those that are unaware, the player will grab cheese and an exit door will open once they've completed the requirements of that level. So by running into this cheese here, it will collect and follow the mouse behind him. And it has little spinning animations just to give it some more character. I added a little glowing layer on top of it to give it some glow. It floats up and down, etc. And that is the exit doors over here. I'll go ahead and stop the test to show these off. So modeling the little exit door into 2 stages. So this will be the closed, this will be the opened version. So say, for example, this level requires this one cheese to be grabbed. The exit door will be right here, and then once the cheese is collected, I plan to have the script recognize that, and this door will be swapped out for its open model. The player will be able to drag their pathway into that open door and escape and complete the level. So that is what we are starting out with now. The next steps, I believe, I'm going to jump into is basically creating a giant configuration system. So just to start the architecture for later level conditions, because it won't all be about, grabbing cheese. It'll be collecting multiple pieces of cheese, or flipping a switch or something, opening an external door that's not the exit door. Just things you have to prepare for and think about for the future. I'm not going to show off all my scripts, just so, you can't steal the entire game. But I will show. I do have a config script, and this basically handles the character templates, so a little bit into how the mouse works, because that took a good amount of time. You have these 2 separate models, the idle and the walk. So the idle, you can see, is tilted pretty far back, and that's to accommodate for the top-down camera, so it looks like he's not looking at the camera, but it looks like he's right side up. The walking doesn't really matter because he's on all fours anyway. So in the idle one, you can see he has the map layered in. We can go in here. I built this all in the Roblox engine. No external modeling required. Just a bunch of spheres and unions and, yeah, just a lot of messy stuff. He has an animation controller because he's a custom rig. The plugins I used for him, I used Moon Animator to animate and the Edit Rig plugin to rig him up, like so. And the map is invisible. Basically, when he plays, the map will be invisible and it will turn visible and expand into a larger state on the same timing as his arms open up in the animation. So it is completely independent of the animation, but it looks like it's seamlessly integrated. So very amateur, you know, it's not anything super fancy, but I do believe it looks good enough for what I'm trying to achieve here. So these will just be plopped back into here. So my hierarchy here, in replicated storage, we feature the character templates, which includes my 2 mouse models. The levels folder is where all of my levels will go and generate as the game needs them. Players will, you know, obviously be advancing level to level, so they will need to be generated when a player enters a new level. And if no players in the server are in a current level, it can be deloaded to save some space and save some performance. This is where my config script lives. In gameplay, in server script service, we have the mouse character service, which is more handiwork. As a server side of things, very light. Basically, all my code is handled through module scripts, and this server script here just mainly just keeps the player anchored and in the position that they need to be for the top-down once they're in their custom model, because obviously your player character is still there. It's just invisible and there's no collision. So, and then in starter player scripts we have a lot of stuff. This pertains to the camera work. This pertains to some more gameplay. This is all the input. This is all the work that went into the pathing system. That definitely took the longest, but I think it looks pretty smooth. I'm sure it looked a little laggier than normal because I have OBS open and it's eating my resources. And I'm doing this on a laptop, so it's not loving it. This is my main client script. This is basically the pair-to-pair handler with the server to take care of all of these module scripts. So that's what we've got going on right now. The next step, the next showcase I do, I will hopefully have this entire level completed in terms of functionality. All the, I guess, groundwork will be laid out to make building new levels more seamless and easier to do, and I will probably start working on the UIs for the level select screen. So I will be back in a new video shortly. Thank you for listening to me blab on and on about this. I hope this appears to be promising. You know, I like the direction this is headed so far, but please feel free to leave your comments. Maybe suggestions for the future. I do have a rough roadmap of what I would like to achieve in terms of being faithful to the original game, while also not getting sued into oblivion, but that's about it. Thank you for watching.